all you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another T&I toy review. And today's review is in association with MarvelousNews.com, your #1 news source for everything Marvel. And for today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new Marvel Legends 6-inch 90s Storm figure from Hasbro. Now this figure is part of the new subline of X-Men vintage figures based on the old Toy Biz packaging back in the day for the 5-inch line. So you've got the orange card back, you've got the Uncanny X-Men logo up at the top, you've got some nice artwork for Storm off to the side, and a description of her accessories and name down below. Also up in the top corner, you've got the Marvel 80 years anniversary logo, and the figure is clearly displayed along with the accessories. On the back of the packaging, again, it looks like the old Toy Biz packaging, and you've got other figures in the wave, this vintage X-Men wave, and then off to the side, you've got a brief bio in multiple languages. All right, let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside the packaging along with the other contents. Now, it was pretty tough for me to open this one. You know, normally I'd open figures and throw the packaging away, no problem. I'm not really a mint-on card collector, but with these vintage style card backs, you know, with the X-Men card backs, it was really kind of tough. I think the figures look really good on them, and I was really tempted to just leave it in there and hang it up on my wall that way. That's what I used to do back in the day with the old Toy Biz figures. I would oftentimes buy 2 of them and display one on the card back and then open the other one. Of course, figures are much more expensive these days, so it's a little harder to do that. Nevertheless, with this figure, the only accessories that you do get with it are the lightning effect pieces, and we've seen these before. They're made with just that rubber material, and you just attach them on the ends there to the hands, and with these, they're that semi-translucent yellow, so it looks like lightning. We've seen these with like Magneto and such, which are purple as well. But, you know, overall, I think these are pretty cool effect pieces. I like these better than some of the other effect pieces that they generally stick with these figures. And you can kind of pose these lightning effect pieces in multiple ways. You can have them sticking straight out so it looks like she's shooting the lightning out of her hand, or you can have it up in an upright position so it looks more like she's manipulating it with her hand. Okay, so for the figure itself, starting with the head sculpt, overall, I think they've done a good job here. The face itself looks very similar to other Storm figures that they've done. You've got the whited out eyes. She's wearing the lightning bolt earrings, which look pretty good. And then she's got good skin tone and everything, so no complaints there. And then with this particular version of Storm, she's got the long white hair, and you've got a little bit of wash in the hair, so that looks pretty good, and I like the way it's sculpted. It does make the figure a little bit top heavy, so just be wary of that. But again, I think it looks good, and it is true to how her hair looked back in the 90s. And this figure, many of you refer to it as a Jim Lee style Storm or X-Men animated series style Storm. They did go with the white outfit. This outfit can be done in black or silver as well, and I wouldn't be surprised if eventually Hasbro doesn't give us variants of this figure. But white was the one that people seem to want to see the most at San Diego Comic-Con last year when they took a poll. So that's what they gave us. And overall, I think it looks good. She's got the shoulder pads there with the X symbols, again in keeping with both the X-Men animated series and the Jim Lee style of artwork. The shoulder pads are separate pieces, and they're made with a rubber material. And then you've just got the kind of pearl white with the yellow striping, and that all looks pretty good. We've seen these hands before with Storm figures, so nothing different. This cape is the same type of cape that we got with the Toys R Us exclusive Storm. It's made with that kind of soft vinyl material, and it's white with the yellow striping. And then you've got the little things, the elastic straps that go around the wrists there. And then you've just got the weight. As far as I can tell, this definitely doesn't use the same parts from the previous Storm figures. I haven't looked at every female figure to know if like the legs or something probably are from another figure, but I think at least the upper torso is a new sculpt. So this figure stands, if you count to the top of her hair, just under 6.5 inches tall, but a little bit over 6.25 inches. Now here's a comparison of the Toys R Us exclusive Storm figure we got several years ago. So the cape is the same between these two figures, the hands are the same, and then I think I misspoke. I think the legs are the same. The feet are different between the two figures, but I do think both of these figures use the same legs. Now here's a look at the second Storm figure that Hasbro did, and other than the hands, these two are totally different figures. And then here's a comparison of the older Toy Biz Storm figure. This was the last time we basically got this outfit in 6-inch figure form. And both figures share the same characteristic of being very hard to stand due to the large hair. The Toy Biz figure is next to impossible to stay standing on its own power, and this new figure has a tendency to fall over as well. Here's a comparison of some other 90s style X-Men figures that Hasbro's done. So the most recent Psylocke figure, Rogue figure, and the older Jean Grey figure. And then for one last comparison, here's a look at the Tiger Stripe Wolverine figure and the Jim Lee style Cyclops figure. Okay, so for articulation on this one, you can turn the head to the left and to the right, even with the long hair. The hair is made with just a rubber material, and she can look down good. However, she can't look back at all because of the hair. And then with the arm, she can get her arm out pretty good there, and she can rotate. You've got those shoulder pads, but they're rubber, and then you also have the cape, but you can still rotate the arm all the way around. Just be careful with the cape. And then you've got a single hinged elbow because it is a female Marvel Legend figure, so she can bend her elbow about that much, and she's got the rotation there at the elbow. She's got the rotation with the hand. She has the hinges with the hand, so good up and down movement there. She's got the midsection joint, so she can rotate there, and she can pivot to the left and the right pretty good. Not much in the way of a crunch movement, and she can look back pretty good, though you do get separation there at the midsection. Does not have a waist swivel with the legs, can only do the splits that much, and then can get her leg forward pretty good and can only do her leg back, out and back about that much. Does have a thigh swivel, has a single hinged or double hinged knee, I should say, so pretty good bending there. However, with this figure, like with the Toys R Us Storm, these knee joints are pretty gummy, so just be wary of that. And then with the feet, you have up and down movement with the hinges, and of course you do have ankle pivot, no heels thankfully, and 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Okay, so that's my review. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this figure. I've been wanting this version of Storm for some time. We haven't had this version since the Toy Biz days, and I think Hasbro's done a pretty good job with it overall, capturing the look from both the cartoon and the Jim Lee comics. Now this figure, the one downside is it is a little bit top heavy, so it is kind of hard to keep standing. If you're gonna display it on your shelf, I would probably recommend use a flight stand and maybe put her in some flight positions, or you might just want to display it in the packaging. I really like the X-Men vintage style packaging, and I think the figure looks good on it. Now this figure, along with the rest of the wave, has started to see a limited release overseas. Places like Robot Kingdom have started to ship this wave out. For those of you here in the United States, however, unless you want to pay overseas shipping, we'll probably need to wait until August. That's when this wave is supposed to start seeing release. We'll have a full image gallery up at marvelousnews.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you're so inclined, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. And you can follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. I have links to those in the video description. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.